It started with a dare, a challenge whispered in the dead of night on a Discord server notorious for its digital bravado. The server was a gathering place for thrill-seekers and digital adventurers, a place where the line between reality and the virtual world often blurred. It was here that the dare was born, a test of one's mettle in the shadowy corners of the internet.
Find the simulate your reality link, they said. It was a challenge that seemed simple on the surface but was shrouded in layers of mystery and danger. The link was rumored to be hidden deep within the dark web, a place where only the brave or the foolish dared to venture.
A test of courage, a digital rite of passage. It was more than just a game. It was a journey into the unknown, a quest that promised to reveal the deepest truths and darkest secrets of the digital world. The dare was a call to arms for those who sought to prove their bravery and skill in the face of the unknown. The dark web was a playground for the fearless, a place where the rules of the real world did not apply. It was a realm of shadows and secrets, where anonymity was both a shield and a weapon. And tonight, fueled by youthful arrogance, I was determined to be fearless. I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, to prove myself in the eyes of my peers, and to uncover the mysteries of the digital abyss. The air hung heavy with the silence of 3 a.m. The world outside was asleep, but my mind was racing, filled with anticipation and excitement. The glow of the computer screen was the only light in the room, casting eerie shadows on the walls. It was the perfect setting for a journey into the unknown. My fingers flew across the keyboard, each keystroke taking me deeper into the digital abyss. The screen was a portal to another world, a place where anything was possible. I navigated through layers of code and encryption, each step bringing me closer to the elusive link. The thrill of the hunt was intoxicating, a rush of adrenaline that kept me going. Past the surface, past the encrypted layers, where anonymity reigned supreme and the grotesque danced with the mundane. There I found it. The Simulate Your Reality link was hidden in the depths of the dark web, a beacon of mystery and danger. The website itself was a sensory assault, a cacophony of distorted images and pulsating colors. It was a symphony composed of digital screams, a place that felt wrong, dangerous, and yet irresistibly alluring.
Still, I clicked on the link. My heart pounded in my chest as I waited for the page to load, the anticipation almost unbearable. A single line of text materialized on the screen, a question that seemed to echo in the silence of the room. Do you wish to experience the truth? The question, in its stark simplicity, felt loaded with unspoken menace. It was a challenge, a dare to go further, to uncover the secrets that lay hidden in the digital shadows. I hesitated for a moment, my finger hovering over the mouse. The choice was mine to make, the path mine to follow. And in that moment, I knew that there was no turning back. I took a deep breath and clicked on the link, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The screen flickered, and a new page began to load. The journey had only just begun, and I was determined to see it through to the end. The dare had been issued, the challenge accepted, and the adventure was about to unfold. As the new page loaded, I felt a mix of fear and excitement. The digital world was a place of endless possibilities, a realm where the boundaries of reality were constantly being pushed and redefined. I was ready to explore its depths, to uncover its secrets, and to prove my courage in the face of the unknown.
The website was a maze of twisted code and cryptic messages, a place where every click could lead to a new discovery or a hidden danger. It was a test of my skills and my resolve, a challenge that would push me to my limits and beyond. I navigated through the chaos, my mind focused and my heart racing. Each step brought me closer to the truth, each click a step further into the unknown. The digital world was a place of wonder and terror, a realm where anything was possible and nothing was certain. The journey was long and arduous, but I was determined to see it through. The dare had been issued, the challenge accepted, and the adventure was about to unfold. The digital world was a place of endless possibilities, a realm where the boundaries of reality were constantly being pushed and redefined. I was ready to explore its depths, to uncover its secrets, and to prove my courage in the face of the unknown.
Still, I clicked on the link. My heart pounded in my chest as I waited for the page to load, the anticipation almost unbearable. A single line of text materialized on the screen, a question that seemed to echo in the silence of the room.
Do you wish to experience the truth? The question, in its stark simplicity, felt loaded with unspoken menace. It was a challenge, a dare to go further, to uncover the secrets that lay hidden in the digital shadows. I hesitated for a moment, my finger hovering over the mouse. The choice was mine to make, the path mine to follow. And in that moment, I knew that there was no turning back. I took a deep breath and clicked on the link, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The screen flickered, and a new page began to load. The journey had only just begun, and I was determined to see it through to the end. The dare had been issued, the challenge accepted, and the adventure was about to unfold. As the new page loaded, I felt a mix of fear and excitement. The digital world was a place of endless possibilities, a realm where the boundaries of reality were constantly being pushed and redefined. I was ready to explore its depths, to uncover its secrets, and to prove my courage in the face of the unknown. My finger hovered over the yes button. Doubt gnawed at me. It was a simple click, yet it felt like a monumental decision. The weight of the unknown pressed down on me, making my hand tremble. What lay beyond this digital threshold? Was it worth the risk? The questions swirled in my mind, each one more daunting than the last. But the dare, the thrill of the forbidden, it had me in its grip. The allure of stepping into the unknown, of breaking free from the mundane, was intoxicating. I could feel the adrenaline coursing through my veins, urging me to take the plunge. The thrill was undeniable, a siren call that was impossible to resist. It was as if the very essence of adventure was calling out to me, promising excitement and danger in equal measure.
With a deep breath, I clicked. The sound of the mouse click echoed in the silence of my room, a small but significant act that set everything in motion. My heart raced as I waited for something to happen, the anticipation almost unbearable. It was a moment suspended in time, where the world seemed to hold its breath along with me. The room dissolved around me. The familiar walls and furniture pixelated and faded, replaced by an eerie void. It was as if reality itself was being rewritten, the boundaries between the digital and the physical blurring into nothingness. The sensation was disorienting, like being caught in a glitch of the universe. My vision blurred, the lines between the digital and the real world dissolving into a chaotic swirl of colors. It was a kaleidoscope of confusion, each hue and shade blending into the next. I felt like I was being pulled in every direction at once, my senses overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of it all. The world as I knew it was slipping away, replaced by a maelstrom of uncertainty. Nausea gripped me, the sensation of falling, endlessly falling. Then, blackness. It was a void, an abyss that seemed to stretch on forever. I felt weightless, untethered from reality, as if I was drifting through an endless night. The darkness was suffocating, pressing in on me from all sides. It was a descent into the unknown, a journey into the depths of my own fears.
When I opened my eyes, I was no longer in my room. The familiar surroundings were gone, replaced by an oppressive darkness. It took a moment for my eyes to adjust, to make sense of the shadows that loomed around me. The air was thick with an unfamiliar scent, a mix of dampness and decay. It was a stark contrast to the comfort of my room, a harsh reminder that I was somewhere else entirely. Gone were the familiar posters and the glow of my computer screen. The room that had been my sanctuary, my escape, was now a distant memory. In its place was a void, an emptiness that seemed to echo with the remnants of my past. It was a jarring transition, a leap from the known to the unknown that left me reeling. I stood in a concrete cell, bare except for a single steel door. The walls were cold and unyielding, a stark reminder of my new reality. The flickering light bulb cast eerie shadows, adding to the sense of foreboding that hung in the air. It was a place devoid of comfort, a stark contrast to the warmth of my room. The steel door loomed ominously, a barrier between me and whatever lay beyond.
A cold dread seeped into my bones. This was no game, this was real. The gravity of my situation hit me like a tidal wave, washing away any remnants of doubt. The fear was palpable, a living, breathing entity that wrapped itself around me. I could feel the chill in the air, the oppressive weight of the unknown pressing down on me. It was a stark reminder that I was no longer in control, that I had stepped into a world where the rules were different. At least it felt real. The cold, the fear, the uncertainty, it all felt tangible, as if I could reach out and touch it. I ran my fingers along the rough surface of the walls, the texture a stark contrast to the smoothness of my computer screen. It was a sensory overload, a barrage of new experiences that left me questioning everything I thought I knew. The line between reality and illusion was blurred, leaving me in a state of perpetual confusion. My heart pounded against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the suffocating silence. Each beat was a reminder of my own vulnerability, a testament to the fear that gripped me. The silence was deafening, amplifying the sound of my heartbeat until it was the only thing I could hear. It was a stark contrast to the chaos that had preceded it, a moment of stillness that was both terrifying and oddly comforting. In that silence, I found a strange sense of clarity, a realization that I was truly alone in this new reality. Panic clawed at my throat, making it hard to breathe. I raced to the steel door, my fists pounding against its unforgiving surface. But it wouldn't budge, no matter how hard I tried.
It was then I noticed it, a glitch in the matrix, a crack in the facade. The concrete wall flickered, revealing for a fleeting moment the pixelated reality beneath. This wasn't my world, it was something else. This was a simulation, a meticulously crafted prison disguised as reality, a digital nightmare. And I was the unwitting prisoner, caught in its web.
Fear, primal and instinctive, took root in my gut. I needed to escape, to find a way out. The floor beneath my feet shimmered, the concrete dissolving into an endless abyss, a void of nothingness. I stumbled back, my hands outstretched, grasping for purchase. But there was nothing to hold on to. The world tilted on its axis, the familiar laws of physics seemingly suspended. Everything felt wrong. This was no ordinary game. This was a descent into madness, a journey into the unknown.
The game has begun, and there is no turning back.
A low growl ripped through the silence, sending a fresh wave of terror through me. I wasn't alone. The air was thick with an oppressive darkness, a suffocating presence that seemed to close in from all sides. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat echoing like a drum in the stillness. I strained my ears, trying to catch any sound that might give away the location of whatever was lurking in the shadows. But all I could hear was the deafening silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant hoot of an owl. From the shadows, they came. At first, they were just vague shapes, indistinct and formless. But as they drew closer, their features became clearer, more defined. They were tall, impossibly tall, with limbs that seemed to stretch and bend in ways that defied the laws of nature. Their eyes glowed with an eerie light, like burning coals in the darkness. It was as if the very essence of fear had taken physical form and was now advancing towards me. Tall, skeletal figures with eyes that burned like hot coals. Their gaze seemed to pierce through me, seeing into the very depths of my soul. I could feel their malevolent intent, a palpable force that made my skin crawl. They moved with a fluid grace, their bodies undulating and twisting in ways that seemed almost hypnotic. It was as if they were dancing to some unheard melody, a macabre ballet that was both mesmerizing and terrifying. They moved with an unnatural grace, their limbs contorting at impossible angles. Each step they took seemed to defy gravity, their feet barely touching the ground. It was as if they were gliding, floating just above the surface. Their movements were fluid, almost liquid, and yet there was a rigidity to them, a sense of purpose and intent that was unmistakable. They were coming for me, and there was nothing I could do to stop them. They spoke in whispers, their voices a chorus of static and whispers, pronouncements of my impending doom. The sound was like nails on a chalkboard, grating and harsh, yet there was a strange, almost melodic quality to it. It was as if they were singing a lullaby, a twisted, nightmarish lullaby that promised nothing but pain and suffering. Their words were unintelligible, a jumble of sounds and syllables that made no sense, and yet I understood them perfectly. Their words slithered into my mind, planting seeds of doubt and despair. Each whisper was like a dagger, cutting deep into my psyche, leaving behind a trail of fear and uncertainty. I could feel my resolve weakening, my will to fight slipping away. It was as if they were draining me of my strength, feeding on my fear and despair. I wanted to scream, to run, to do anything to escape their influence, but I was paralyzed, trapped in their web of terror. I couldn't understand them, but their meaning was clear. There was no escape. I was trapped, a prisoner in this nightmare world with no hope of rescue or salvation. The walls seemed to close in around me, the darkness pressing in from all sides. I could feel their eyes on me, watching, waiting, savoring my fear. I was their prey, and they were the hunters, relentless and merciless.
I turned and ran, their hollow laughter echoing behind me. My legs felt like lead, each step a monumental effort. The ground seemed to shift and warp beneath my feet, making it difficult to maintain my balance. I could hear their footsteps behind me, a relentless, rhythmic pounding that matched the beat of my heart. I didn't know where I was going, only that I had to get away, to put as much distance between myself and those faceless entities as possible. These were the other inhabitants of this digital hellscape, prisoners of this twisted game. Each one a lost soul, trapped in this nightmarish world, their minds twisted and broken by the horrors they had witnessed. I could see their faces, twisted masks of fear and despair, their eyes empty and hollow. They were like ghosts, shadows of their former selves, wandering aimlessly through the darkness, searching for a way out that didn't exist. I had to escape, not just for myself, but for them too. I couldn't leave them to suffer in this digital purgatory, to be tormented by those faceless entities for all eternity. I had to find a way out, a way to break free from this nightmare and bring them with me. But how? How could I fight an enemy I couldn't see? An enemy that existed only in the fabric of this simulated world. But how could I fight an enemy I couldn't see? An enemy that existed only in the fabric of this simulated world? The answer eluded me, slipping through my fingers like sand. I could feel the weight of their gaze, the pressure of their presence, and I knew that time was running out. I had to act, to find a way to turn the tables, to become the hunter instead of the hunted. But first, I had to survive.